kind of made it hard, especially in the fourth quarter, to get the shots you needed?
Didn't play with enough energy. It just looked tired, and on top of that, we just didn't move with that kind of approach. I feel, or we just didn't move as well as we usually do, and defensively, I don't. We got to get even more fast break points. That's something that we depend on, and obviously as well, just didn't do enough. We didn't do enough today.
Is this a little bit about just adjusting to a completely different opponent and style of play than what you had last series in Denver?
Yeah, but I think we've done a great job of adjusting all year. So we just didn't do enough tonight. When they needed to make shots, they did, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating when you feel that you could have gave yourself a better chance to win tonight.
Karl, Finch was pretty upset with the execution late in the game. What did you see not work in the second half of the fourth quarter?
Just we got to finish quarters better. Got to be better at finishing quarters, and I think what he's probably most upset is that like I said, you're more upset about the chances you didn't give yourself to win the game, and I know he's not going to be pleased. Obviously, isn't with not getting a shot. Having a turnover in those kind of situations and stuff. I know he's a stickler for that. So, and he's rightfully so.
Nurkic and Jokic played up. They played the bigs up in the first two rounds. This team seemed much more committed to playing the bigs back and at the rim. What changes in that, and how do you guys take advantage of that in game two?
Just gotta be better. I think also us not shooting our best led to them having those throw-ahead passes from Luka Doncic and everybody, allowing them to use their athleticism, their athletes, and put pressure on our defense, which in turn didn't help us as well, and getting matched up or being in the right spots or whatever the case may be. So, we're going to have to make adjustments, and we'll have a good practice tomorrow, and we'll get back to the drawing board.
They had 44 points in the paint in the first half, 62 overall, so 18 in the second half. A lot of those points
from Kyrie.
A lot of it in the first half, obviously.
Yeah.
What adjustments did you make, and did you figure out things? I mean, the improvement was dramatic, but they still got off, and they had lobs. I mean, there's always the lob.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how are you factoring
I think one, like I said, the energy, playing with a little more energy will cover up some mistakes in our aggressiveness. I think one thing that everyone in this room knows is that when we're playing Timberwolves the basketball and we're defending at a high level, we do tend to make mistakes, but we make up a lot of those mistakes in aggression and activity. Today when you're not having that kind of activity, aggression, it can't be covered up, So I think in the second half, from my perspective, I haven't watched the tape. Obviously, I'm in the moment, but you could see a little more desperation in us, understanding that the game was getting away and the game, time was running down, and we had to give ourselves a chance and pick it up. So I think in that desperation, again, it goes back to our activity and our use of energy, and I think that's why in the second half we did a better job of maybe making them, miss that bunny or that dunk. Naz Reid has an amazing chase down block in the paint and I believe Jalen Green, or I don't know exactly, but those kind of things, those desperation activity had covered up a lot of our pain points.
Karl, you guys have so much success on the offensive boards, and you crash from the core and everything, but as you mentioned, they had a couple of leak outs, they had a couple of quick transition buckets. How do you balance that out of being that team on the offensive boards but still managing to get back and making sure you protect that?
Yeah, I mean, just you got to be a little more aggressive on the offensive end of offensive rebounding, especially on a night like tonight when we're not shooting our best. So you want to have defensive balance. You know, you want to be able to execute a cover two, getting back on defense, especially against a team that has a passer like Luka Doncic. So, it's disappointing. Tonight's disappointing. Like Britt says, you know, we gave up a lot of points in the paint, and if anything, with our team and our defense, the way that we're built, you know, with the length and size that we have, we can't allow points in the paint. If anything, that's our biggest advantage in the league is, you know, the three big lineup that we have, and we can't allow that. So we got to be tougher in there.
Karl, you were pretty upset when that offensive goaltending was called. What did you see there? How tough was that call in that moment?
I was more upset because, you know, the play happened. Just want to help my team win. And in doing that, the crowd's going crazy. We got momentum. We got the crowd into it. And out of nowhere, I'm hearing that it's not going to be counted. So I think that's where my upset was the amount of confusion that I think that was going around.